Now, it's been some time since we've seen the first folding smartphones, right? And we haven't really seen much of innovation in that area, except for the way that the smartphone folds. And many people have been skeptical about how foldable phones aren't really needed. I think foldable phones aren't, well, I do think foldable phones aren't really necessary. It's kind of just a fashion statement at this point, but expanding screens is something that I think is the way that we are going to move forward in terms of smartphone innovation. Now, last week, I got a message from a good friend, James from Technobabble. Thank you for messaging me and thinking of inviting me to this special hands-on session at the Oppo store at Suntec City. We got to see and play around with Oppo's new concept phone, the Oppo X 2021. And this phone was special because it implements the expanding screen in a very different way from what we see now in the market. Now, the Oppo X 2021 is a concept phone, so it didn't really have any fixed specifications, but what was fixed, or in fact wasn't fixed, was the screen size, because it could expand from a 6.7-inch screen to a 7.4-inch screen without folding the screen. Interesting, right? I was pretty excited by this experience. And let me share with you what my thoughts are about the Oppo X 2021. I'm your host Thiru, and this is Random Review Squad. So the Oppo X 2021 is a concept phone. Okay, when I say concept phone, it means there's no fixed specifications, there's no fixed launch date, you don't even know whether it will come out or not. But it works. The phone works. It was running Android 11. It had a Snapdragon 865 chip, which is not confirmed, of course. It was a working phone. It even had a camera, a back camera, but it didn't have a front camera. We were mainly there to see the concept of this expanding screen. Now, it is still part of a foldable screen, category, but it's not folding per se. So this phone expands its screen from a 6.7-inch screen to a 7.4-inch screen by expanding sideways, right? So it extends its body and then the screen kind of rolls out from the left side. So what do I mean by when it rolls out? Oppo says this technology was inspired by the army tank, right? So that, tank tracks are on rollers, right? So basically that's the same concept. You have a screen that is over these rollers and the rollers roll the screen out. And as the phone expands or extends sideways, the screen rolls out from underneath or behind the phone, which is a pretty cool idea. Now, why was this method adopted, right? Well, we've all seen foldable screens. The main and key problem with these screens is the creasing in the middle, right? When you watch movies, when you watch shows, there's a line down the middle that you can't really avoid. When you turn off the screen, you can see it, and also you have that small little fear in your heart where you don't know when the next flipping might, or when the next folding might damage your screen. Well, this doesn't fold at all, so there's no real crease. It's just extending or rolling out from underneath the phone, which is in fact one of the best ways I've seen an expanding or extending screen be implemented. So basically they're just calling it warp track, right? So this warp track is based off an army tank's tank tracks, all right? So how does this expanding take place? So basically how this phone extends is you just have to roll your thumb over the power button, which quite possibly might become a fingerprint sensor, but at this point it was just a power button with capacitive touch. So you kind of have to just slowly roll your finger over that, and then the phone extends sideways, which is pretty cool. The only issue I see with it is if you're in a rush and you want to extend your screen quickly, you may have to try multiple times before you kind of get it. And once you get it, you will kind of, adapt to it and you'll be fine the subsequent times. But it will be better if Oppo kind of increases the sensitivity. You might think that if, it's a power button at the side, what if it's in my pants? And then the pants kind of, has friction and it rubs the power button and then it expands in your pants. Yeah, Oppo has thought about that. Don't worry. it is only able to extend when the phone is unlocked and when the screen is on. So you gotta like take it out and then you gotta, you know, access the phone, and then you are able to extend or expand the screen. Of course, when you extend the screen from a 6.7 to 7.4 inch screen, you are extending the aspect ratio as well from a 16:9 to a 4:3 aspect ratio. So from what I know, okay, apps themselves, they are able to resize easily, but when you're watching shows, movies, or playing games even, there may be an issue of black bars above and below, or you know, on the sides. But I don't think it's an issue because 4:3 is still bigger than the 16:9 that you will be watching on the phone. How would you play games on a screen that extends? Will games kind of fit easily with the 4:3? We couldn't really try out any games because there was no games in the phone at all. It was running Android 11, but it was the Oppo version of Android 11 and it was in Chinese. But yeah, we didn't really try a game out on it, but from what I can see, as much as the apps support different screen sizes, you should be fine. But from the point of holding the phone, if you're holding it in landscape during the unextended form, I don't know what form you would call it, when it's in the 6.7 inch form, you hold it sideways, it's a regular phone. But when you hold it in the 7.4 inch form, it's not really a ergonomic style of holding, because you're gonna have a kind of a bump in the middle, right, where the phone extends. It's kind of like a dip in and then out, because that's, you know, the sides are made out of glass and then the middle is plastic. You know, there may be some issues with how you're gonna grip the phone, and you might have some problems attaching controllers or controller buttons to the phone if you are one of those people who attach controllers. Of course, okay, now who do I think this phone is for? This phone is probably for those who are into productivity and, you know, enjoy their videos and their Netflix and all that. It would be the bigger screen, and the ability to reduce and expand the screen is a big plus for those who are in a rush. You know, you don't really want to get an iPad and also carry a handphone and also carry a laptop. You know, you kind of want to, you know, bring all those things together, and this phone has the capability to do that. But of course, it would be better if they had pen support. Now, if they had pen support on that phone, you could write on it, you could, you know, kind of do a lot more things. You could do your Word document, you could do drawings, you could do note-taking easily on an expanded screen. But as far as I saw, there wasn't any pen support, right? There wasn't any area to put in a pen or anything. There was no pen support, which I can understand why, because you have a folding screen and then you want to put in pen support, it might be a little bit difficult. Alright, I haven't really seen it being done yet. But yeah, if they do it, it's a big leap forward. So let me talk about build quality. Okay, so this phone might look heavy, but it actually isn't. Alright, the middle of the phone is actually hollow, a little bit hollow, because that's where the screen comes out from, and when you extend it, that area is hollow. It has a plate in the middle that makes sure or ensures that the screen is stretched out so it doesn't fold or bend in any way and you don't get any creases. It also has a very thick body, okay, so that it can hide the technology inside and you don't have any, you know, flailing parts and whatnot, or visible mechanical parts. So this phone is pretty thick. It's like 2 or 3 mm thick, and it is sturdy. Like, if you're dropping this phone, it's not going to break, right? But we don't know what the waterproof rating is. We don't know anything else about the phone, whether it's going to be, you know, scratch resistant screen or, you know, what other durability stuff. We don't know any of that because they haven't decided on it. Like I said, it's a concept phone. Right, it also has a USB-C port. We did try charging the phone, but I didn't really see the Super VOOC happening. Okay, Super VOOC is the Oppo's fast charging mechanism, and I didn't see any Super VOOC happening. Maybe they don't have that function in the phone yet. Quite possibly it will have Super VOOC if it comes out. It doesn't have any wireless charging as well. I don't see anywhere that you can actually put a wireless coil, and I don't see a 3.5mm jack, but I'm not surprised about that because most premium phones don't have 3.5mm jacks now, because they want consumers to move towards Bluetooth earpieces, right? So just too bad. If it had a Of course, as you can see, the screen is a little bit warped and it has a small line where the screen stops and extends. I'm not sure if that will be an issue if they launch this phone, but it seems like they're still trying certain things out. And of course, like I said, it's a concept phone, right? We don't know where they're gonna bring this to or what other specs they might involve in this phone. We also did try out the camera, okay? So the camera is a big deal in most phones now, right? So we also did try out the camera. They had one 48 megapixel sensor, not a fixed thing. There's also slots for 2 other cameras, but they were empty, so we couldn't try those out. But they had all the standard stuff in the camera, your night mode, your ultra wide. It seemed like they were just zooming in and out for the ultra wide. Of course, when you expand or extend the phone in camera mode, it freezes the screen and then it will resize accordingly to whatever the screen size is. So you do have like a bigger viewfinder, so-called, for your camera. Yeah, that's cool. Which is cool. Yeah, right. Yeah, so that's kind of it from what we tried. Now, for pricing wise, I'm not sure what the price is gonna be. From what I can gauge, it's gonna be in the thousands. If you're keen on buying this, just wait out. It might come out this year because it is the Oppo X 2021. I don't think it'll be releasing next year. If they do release it, it should be within this year. Now, this whole experience was pretty eye-opening for me, and I was, pretty excited to see this new phone, this concept phone, because it's not something that anyone else can see. You can go down to the Suntec City Oppo store and take a look at the phone, but you will not be able to, hold it in your hand. So this is kind of a special experience for me, and I will really want to thank James from Technobabble for inviting me. I'd like to thank the people at Oppo for giving me this opportunity to actually even make a video about it. I'm really interested to see what they're gonna do with this phone, because this is a new way of implementing the extending or kind of like the expanding screen, right? Rather than a foldable, which kind of works, but still has some issues when you fold the screen. Yeah, if you guys like this content, please leave a like, smash that subscribe button, and also hit the notification bell so that you know when I release a new video. Most likely it's every Sunday, and sometimes I'll release on Wednesday as well. If you guys want to join the Discord, link is down in the description below. You can join me for some games, do some streaming, stuff like that. And also go and follow me on the social media, on Instagram, on Twitter. And of course, I want to hear you guys. I want to hear your thoughts about this concept phone, the Oppo X 2021. What do you think it will become? Do you think it will do well? Do you think it is a good idea? What are your thoughts on this phone? Leave your comments down in the comment section below. Until next time, I'm your host Thiru, and this is Random Review Squad.
Well, that has changed, right? Now you've got some excellent phones from Oppo. You've got the X series, even the Oppo Reno 5 Pro that I reviewed very recently. Fantastic phone. Not a budget phone, right? But good value. But anyway, that's not why we're here. We're here for this. Now, this looks like any other normal phone, right? This is the Oppo X. I think it's just called the Oppo X.